Danielle Smith just looked at Alberta's independent electoral map and said, "Fuck you. Alberta, I hate to use these terms, but we have to stop the steal." Welcome to whatever the fuck this is. I'm Zane Velji. Alberta's electoral boundaries, they're being fucked with. Okay, let's talk about step one. An electoral boundaries commission was started last year with map nerds, independent map nerds. And like most nerd things, they were way more impressive and important than what you do. But there was hearings across the province, there was population data, charter rights, a 200-page report, you know, the whole independent thing. They recommended 89 seats, a map that slightly favors cities because that's where people annoyingly insist on living. Step two, for the first time ever though, two UCP chosen commissioners, they turned heel, they bolted, and they dropped their own minority report maps. Something that the majority calls unreasonable, likely unconstitutional, and basically the Canadian word for gerrymandering. Step three, this is where Danielle Smith comes in. Smith throws the whole thing out, gives a UCP-majority MLA committee control over the next redraw with a tight timeline Elections Alberta calls a problem. And this is where we are now, in a Canadian first. When Elections Alberta is saying we need up to 2 years to implement new boundaries, and Smith replies, "You work for me, so f off," the tell is that she wants things done her way. Her politicians, her MLAs deciding who their voters are. So why is this deeper than, LOL, that's America happening here? Well, first off, even if it was just America pasted here in Alberta, this is fucked. But there is more. The trick isn't just how you draw the map, it's who gets the final cut. Federally and in several provinces, the law forces governments to accept the Independent Commission's map within a set timeline. Politicians don't get to say, you know what, try again, make it a bit sexier, you know, add a few more curves. Alberta's law, it lets the legislature bring in whatever configuration they want after the report. And Smith, she is exploiting that. Remember that minority report that was produced? Well, it's now literally an instruction manual for how to do partisan engineering while technically staying inside the lines. Oh, and it's also conveniently guidance for this new UCP MLA committee as they try to add 2 more seats, but maybe with the entire province. Listen, if Alberta pulls this off, the story other premiers and provinces tell themselves changes from "we can't touch boundaries, that shit is sacred" to, well, Alberta did it and they're still calling it democratic. QP Alberta said it best. If Smith does this, that's the ball game for a generation. If the UCP can tilt the field now, future governments will be tempted to do the same. Suddenly, every election is played on a custom-built home rink, which, by the way, is an allegation I now want to officially bring up against the Oilers. And your vote, by the way, it's the away team. As I see it, this is Canada's January 6th. Not dramatic storming of a capital, but stealing an election in installments. This entire exercise is the UCP's horny redraw of their own ass. Stick with me. Partisan hacks sketching their own curves and crevices and calling it a sexy makeover that's necessary. We gotta let their desire to fuck us be the thing that finally stops them.